Hi guys. So I'm driving a Mazda CX-5, and this is not a test car. Actually, this car belongs to my mother. If you have watched my recent video, I just helped her renew her insurance with Evo Club Insurance, saved 40%. And today I'm bringing her car for her service. So this CX-5 here, we bought. This is the current gen CX-5, the 2.0 GLS high spec, and we bought this car last year. It's not brand new. We didn't buy it brand new. This car was a showroom demo unit that was about, I think, a few months old, with about 3,000 kilometers on the clock. And we bought it at maybe about 20,000 cheaper than brand new. So it's not a significant discount per se, but it still represented some savings. And but the usage of this car since we bought it has been rather low, and compounded by the fact that, this whole COVID-19 crisis, my parents have been very dutifully staying at home most of the time, so the mileage of this car is very, very low. Last service in May, which is May 2020, this car had 3,640 kilometers on the clock. Today, November, November 2020, I'm sending it for its 6-month service. It had clocked 4,424 kilometers. So it was only 800 kilometers ago since its last service. But the thing is that we still have to follow time and service because this car is under warranty, and it's all part of under the terms of the free service package anyway. So if I don't send this car for its service today, the service would have been burned. So yeah, might as well do it. But this is a very, very underutilized car, to be frank. Now, what has been our overall experience with it? So recently, my mother has decided to. My mother has asked me to drive this car on her behalf a bit more often to help rack up a bit more mileage. And one thing I must say is that compared to the 3 cars that I have at home, the refinement of this car really is superb. There's a very fine, it has that very fine feeling of mechanical coherence in the car. That feeling that every little component, every little screw in this car is just polished to the finest detail in order to give a smooth and refined driving experience. So of course it's not as powerful as my S-Max, but I'll say this: the 6-speed transmission here is way smarter than the S-Max's transmission. So let's say, like, under hard acceleration, this one is very snappy, quickly gets you into the right gear, puts the engine in the power band, gives you the acceleration you need. The S-Max, in contrast, takes a few seconds to think what it needs to do, and then it will just shove you in the gear, and you are propelled forward at speed. So if I were to imagine a running start drag between this and the S-Max, what will happen is both cars step on the throttle together. This will pull ahead first, and then the S-Max will suddenly, after like maybe half car, 3/4 car length falling behind, the S-Max will suddenly shoot ahead. That is how it would translate on the road. Now, of course, it doesn't have it doesn't, because it is slightly high rising, so you will have to account for a bit more body roll. But still, the handling of this is in the context of an SUV. Hey, sorry, I got it wrongly. In the context of an SUV, pretty good. But it is really the refinement that is the standout quality of this car, I will have to say. And for grunt, right, this 2-liter engine, this is of course the baseline engine of the CX-5. But in terms of grunt, it offers enough. Okay, I mean, good enough for city driving. But of course, if you are if you are a regular long distance commuter, you may appreciate the extra grunt from the 2.5 or the diesel, or the ridiculous grin inducing 2.5 turbo. Honestly, the 2.5 turbo, that's an insane car, man. That is an insane car. But coming back to this, for most people, right, actually the 2.0 high spec of the CX-5 offers all the features that you need in a city-going, you know, crossover SUV. It's big enough, all right. Design-wise, looks good. Interior finishing feels appropriately premium, although there are some areas that that we typically find of Mazda that you can see that they are still aspiring to be properly premium rather than being actually there. But for the most part, you know, most people would find this entirely satisfying. Now, within the context of its segment, the one thing that the CX-5 does lose out actually is it's not as efficiently packaged as the CR-V. All right, so if you really want, if you're at this price point, you want a spacious ride, the CR-V is still the better car to go for. You can't trump the X70 for value, but all things being equal, if price were not a factor, then I personally consider the CX-5 to be the best all-rounder in this segment. Now, some quirks about the ownership of this car. One thing, the battery dies out really fast. I mean, a few days ago, I think for the past 1 week, we've been getting warning lights on the screen telling us that, you know, there's a fault with the battery management system, which is a sign that the battery is losing, battery is going to go. So which is common actually, because I have got another friend with this same generation CX-5, also battery had to be changed in a year. And nowadays, right, modern cars are, especially with all these sophisticated, you know, highly computerized cars, right, the power consumption in the batteries are just immense. The other day I was having a chat with somebody who once helped a friend manage a BMW M3, the E90 M3, and he highlighted a point to me that, you know, even our, you know, now all these cars with dual clutch transmission, right? Okay, so there's one aspect about dual clutch transmissions that people don't talk about, is that the actuators, the gear change actuators, what are they powered from? Electricity. And where you get the electricity from the car's electricity grid, which is from the battery. So, you know, modern cars have very, very high electricity consumption, and as a result, you know, the battery wear of these cars are very, very fast, and these batteries are not cheap. That day my parents changed the new EFB battery. Cost about what, 500 ringgit? So the thing about buying a lot of modern new cars, right, especially when you have auto start stop and all that, we have to be mentally prepared for escalated battery costs. And I can tell you this, my S-Max, which I know the dealer didn't change the battery before selling the car to me, is already giving signs that it needs a new battery. So which I am not at all surprised. Uncle Chips, my good friend Uncle Chips from Piston.my, he owns a Kuga, and he tells me that battery wear for him is a common thing. It's, you know, at 1 year, 1.5 years if you're lucky. So for this car, I always tell my mother, try to drive it as frequently as possible, and when you do, switch off the auto start stop, because the auto start stop is a very big, you know, power consumer. I just advise my mother, turn it off. Okay, so now I am at the service center. Service. Okay, thank you. Sebelah tu merah. Okay, thank you. Okay guys, so I've just handed my car over to the service center personnel, and besides the service, there's also the matter of the fuel pump recall, which my mother's car is being subject to. So as we all know, the ongoing Denso fuel pump recalls affecting many Japanese brands. Honda is one of them, Mazda is among them as well. So one thing that when I'm called to make the appointment was that, and this is a useful tip for you, for those of you guys whose cars are affected by the fuel pump recall as well. Before you bring the car in, try to use up your fuel. Ensure that your fuel level is at least below the 3/4 mark, half tank, quarter tank, even better. So the idea is that when your fuel level is low, it reduces the chances of there being spillage when they remove the fuel pump from the tank. All right, and when they reinstall the pump into the fuel tank, it also prevents, you know, fuel from splashing out, and that may cause a bit, but it's harmless. Even it is actually harmless lah, okay, even if you have a full tank, but it's better that you don't, because then you may have to deal with petrol smells in your car, all right, after the procedure is completed. So it was 2:30 when I handed the car to them, and they told me that everything service plus changing the fuel pump, that would be done by about 5:30. So I'm just going to go inside there, enjoy some free coffee and sandwich. Okay guys, so it's 5 p.m. now, car is just done. I was in there 4:30. I got the call from the service advisor, advised me the car is done, and took a bit of time, pack up, then just had a chit chat with the service advisor, briefing me on all the things that were done with the car, and now I'm here just half an hour later. So this is supposed to have been the 30,000 kilometer service, right? That's now just carried out at 4,000 kilometers. So here it mentioned in the job sheet, there's also doubles as the service record. It says check brake system, belting, lighting condition, check. So what they do change here is the engine oil and the oil filter. This is a minor service, and they also give this bottle of deposit cleaner, which we're supposed to pop this in before the next time we refuel the car. The idea behind it is, well, as we all know, direct injection cars, right? Because the fuel is injected direct into the combustion chamber as opposed to the port. The intake valves don't get any cleaning action from the fuel, so as a result, it's very common for carbon to build up in the intake valves for a direct injection engine, and those deposits require special attention to clean up, and this is Mazda's solution for it. So this This service also coincide with the fuel pump recall. All right, so that was done, and the whole thing basically from the time this car checked in till the time when the service advisor called me at 4:30 p.m. took 2 hours. They also dropped this hanger here to inform us that the car has been sanitized, and I'm pretty sure it has, because when I came into the car there was a distinct smell of aerosol, which once upon a time I wouldn't have quite welcomed, but this day and age, with all the sensitivity towards COVID-19, I think that is a fair precaution. Right. So yeah, there you have it. This was a relatively simple and uneventful service.
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new